Saw Ryan Cross's video about his experience in a South Korean hospital, and it just reminded me of the time that I went to a South Korean hospital, and I vowed to never ever go to a hospital in South Korea ever again, and I never
Wow.
ever did go to a Korean hospital after that. This was in November 2024, and I'd moved to
If you are going to say I'm never going back to a Korean hospital, you must have had a very bad experience. So I'm very curious to hear what she has to say.
Korea like 5 months prior, and I never still needed to go to the hospital. Keep in mind, I paid national health insurance in Korea, and I also had my own private health insurance just in case anything went wrong. So I was on a dinner date, and there was like everything on the menu, and I ate everything on the menu. I had like 6 dishes. I can't even count, like 6, 7 dishes, and one of the dishes was oysters, and I gobbled up maybe 10, 12 oysters. It was great.
Everything on the menu, sure, good, cool. I don't play with raw fish, man. I don't play with it. The raw fish, you have to understand, eating raw fish, Koreans sometimes they take pills to like kill the parasites in their stomach every now and then because they eat so much raw fish. You gotta have a certain gut for that, man. And sister, I don't think you have that gut, with all due respect. And I'm not blaming her. I'm just saying, be careful with what you eat. Be careful with what you eat.
I had a great time, and I've never had issues with oysters before. However, after eating and going back home, this was a few hours, and my stomach was just hurting. It was insane. I've never felt this pain before, and I was like, what is going on? I had to keep going to the bathroom, and then I was like, let's just try and sleep it out. And that didn't work because I kept waking up to vomit. So I was like, what are we going to do?
Food poisoning.
I told myself it would be best to just wait till 10 a.m. and just go to the hospital then. I'd never gone to the hospital. I was quite scared and afraid, but it was fine because I wasn't really that worried because I could speak.
I'm not blaming her at all. You know what? Because I don't really watch the whole videos before I watch them. I just watch them. I'm gonna use this for people who are visiting South Korea. Not visiting, who are going to live in South Korea, maybe you're not here yet, or people who are just got here. You never want it to be the first time you're going to the hospital when you're really in pain. You gotta find a hospital that you like, and you gotta have a dry run. You gotta know like who's the nurse here, who speaks English. You just can't be in pain for the first time and go to the hospital. I'm not blaming her. I understand that situation. But it will save you so much uncomfortability in the future. You gotta have a dry run.
Korean, and I never ever expected anyone to speak to me in Korea with like anything other than Korean, right? I need to explain to you guys the extent to how much I was vomiting. It was coming out both sides, okay, both ways. It was absolutely insane. I was so dehydrated, I was so sick, and I was in that taxi on the way to that hospital, and I was just so sick. I literally had to put the bag between my ears so I could just freely vomit. So I get to the front desk, and I tell the lady all my symptoms, whilst I'm vomiting, by the way, all my symptoms, and that I need help, please, ASAP. This is all in Korean. I'm talking to her in Korean. No one's ever said to me I have any issue or with my Korean. No one's ever misunderstood me. I've never had that issue, okay? She responds to me with, no English doctor here, go.
That's so whack. That is so whack. That is honestly so whack. If I'm in that situation and you see me, like, don't you guys have some Hippocratic oath? You see someone vomiting their organs out and you're not going to try to help them? Like, that's crazy.
I didn't know what to say. I'm talking to you in Korean, you're responding to me in English. I was just like, this doesn't make any sense, right? Like, I was like, what? I'm talking to you in Korean. I don't need an English doctor. I can tell you all my symptoms in Korean. I have my national health insurance. On top of that, here's even a private one. I was just actually shocked. I've never, in my entire life of living, any country I've been to, been denied healthcare. And now I start crying to her.
That's crazy, man. I'm so sorry that happened to her. That is so crazy. And I hope she looks like she's doing well now. Let's just try, cause I'm a more, let's turn a negative into a positive. Right? What can we learn from this? What can we learn from this? You gotta find a good hospital ahead of time. Ahead of time. It's like you can't buy a used car without knowing you have a mechanic. You know what I mean? Like, you can't buy a used car, maybe it's a little bit older, you bought it for a few $1,000 and not have a mechanic on speed dial. Like, you know who the mechanic is. You gotta know where you're gonna go when you're sick. I know where I'm going when I'm sick. Because when I'm not sick and I go here and they act like that, now I know, okay, don't go here. Off the list. But again, it should never happen, but it does.
I'm just like in tears and I'm talking to her in Korean. I'm like, please, I'm speaking to you in perfect Korean. Here's my symptoms. I need someone ASAP. Like I have my resident card. Like, please help me. And she says the same thing in English. No English doctor here. Please go. Oh my God. So I'm not gonna embarrass myself. I'm not gonna beg. Clearly she said the answer 2 times in a row. So I was like, okay, I need to go. I left. And I called the guy that I was on a dinner date with and I said, hey, is it just me or are you feeling really sick from like what we ate or whatever? Like, is it just me? I feel really sick. And he was like to me, oh, I just came back from the hospital. I had an IV drip and they gave me some medicine. Yeah, we have norovirus. I have norovirus. You probably have norovirus too. It's from the oysters. I had to go home and nurse myself home. At home, I went to the like pharmacy.
Damn, did that guy like you? If I go on a date and we eat the same food and I'm dying, as a gentleman, he should call you and be like, yo, listen, had a fantastic time. By the way, I'm dying. You should probably go to the hospital as well. Or are you okay? How are you doing? He should have gave you that courtesy call so you could at least know, yeah, I'm not feeling well. You know, okay, maybe you should go to the hospital. He should have at least called you. I don't know. Maybe I think different. Do I think different? I don't know.
Yeah, but I was like, hey, I need this. I told him what I was going through and he's like, just take this. And it worked, kind of. I just had to stay in bed for 5 days. And yeah, never went to a cream.
She needed that IV, bro. Because when you're sick like that and everything is coming out, your body is just super dehydrated, you need the IV. The IV is the best thing ever. I love it. If I get a cold, I haven't gotten sick in such a long time, but I got sick recently. I got 3 IVs. 3 IVs. You wake up, you feel so much better because your body is just rejuvenated, it's replenished.
In hospital ever after that. I literally swore to myself when it was cold, don't get sick. I made sure to eat healthy because I knew if I needed to go to the hospital, there's a chance that they would say no to me, and I've never experienced that in any other country, and I wasn't willing to experience it again. So I made sure I had no reason to ever go to a Korean hospital. And when there was a time actually where I was not doing well, I have acute heart issues, and I was having really bad heart palpitations like for a whole week, but thank God I was going to London to see my friends and families for a few days, in a few days. So I just waited until I went to go see the NHS. Insane. I paid my health insurance for no reason, but hey, still love you, Korea. I saw Ryan Cross's video.
I love how she's still keeping a positive attitude. By the way, that should never, ever, ever happen. But again, a learning moment here. A learning moment here. You can't try one hospital and say they're all whack. You can't do that. Korea still has some of the best healthcare you're gonna get ever in the world. Ever. But like everything else, there's gonna be some bad. And that hospital was super whack. Terrible experience. Should never happen. Please Find a hospital before you're sick. Find a hospital before you're sick. Well, how? Do a health checkup for no goddamn reason. See if they will take you. Right? Like on the group chats or on Facebook, they got groups and they're like, yo, go to this hospital. Like in Busan, we all know which hospital to go to. We all know which hospital has the English-speaking nurse. We all know which hospital has this doctor. Like, we all know because we all keep up to date with it. You gotta be up to date. Let me know your thoughts about this, because maybe I'm thinking about it differently. Let me know your thoughts. As always, I link the creator so you can show her some love. And if events are always happening in your city and you find out after, you need to sign up to the free K360 newsletter. It will keep you up to date with what's happening in your city. Bye for now.